Alright, we are back with a new video.
What's up, guys? Jades Corner back here again for yet another
Better
Teen Wolf
be.
retrospective video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Teen Wolf Season 4 and how I feel about this season. And yeah, I'm not going to be going into too long of an intro because I feel like in all these retrospective videos, you guys already know the gist of what I'm going to say in the intros anyway. Link to merch is down in the description down below. If you guys enjoy Teen Wolf content and stuff like that, and if you're hardcore or just casual fans of Teen Wolf, this is the channel.
Got one thing to say. Yes! Maybe sometime I'll buy some if I get it at the right time. Yeah. And another thing to say. Teen Wolf Nation is awesome. Or whatever you want to call it. Universe. Because the fandom, the good parts of us, the ones that know the truth, that all these other people that are spreading fake news or just not correcting themselves on things, which is what I love about Jade's Corner. So thank you. And Crowheezy, which I will be reacting to, so I'm probably here soon. Alright, let's get back into it.
So yeah, do all that fun stuff, like subscribing, liking the video, turning on post notifications. But anyway, we're just gonna hop into what I think about Season 4. So
Yeah.
Season 4, I think, is the season that marked the beginning of the end for Teen Wolf. And why I say that is because the show went in a completely different direction. I feel like the introduction of, I'm going to put this in heavy quotations, the new Scott McCall and Liam Dunbar, I feel like turned off a lot of people initially when the season first came out, and I think that's very apparent because the season started off very strong, having season 3 type numbers in terms of the viewership, and then it was just a complete downward spiral the more the season progressed. Like, people just stopped caring about the series, and there's truth to this because I've had people in my comments who are OG Teen Wolf fans, people who have been fans of the show longer than me. And have been watching longer than me, who have said that they just stopped giving a shit about the series after season 3. So yeah, like I said, a lot of people just fell off the show after season 3, and they just stopped giving a shit about Teen Wolf. And I think that's because of the direction the show ended up going in. And I feel like a lot of the issues that persist in season 5 and 6 started with this season, such as the terrible power scaling, shit not making sense. And just Jeff Davis, I feel like not caring as much as he did for the first 3 seasons of really establishing and setting permanent ground rules for his supernatural lore. Because I feel like a lot of those rules were broken this season.
Like I've probably said before, this thing, so you remember in Supernatural how God he got bored with them, with his creations. It's the same thing that Jeff Davis did with Teen Wolf. I don't know if he created it, but he got bored with it. I mean, he's basically God in that sense of being a dick. Sorry to use that word, but you get what I'm saying. Alright.
Especially with the introduction of the Were-Jaguar, which, although I think is cool, I think it breaks continuity a little bit. Although not really, because it kind of falls in line with what's said in season 1 and 2. But I feel like, I feel like if the Were-Jaguar was a thing that could have been spawned from a werewolf scratch, I feel like they should have mentioned that earlier on, like with the Kanema. And
I'm with you on that, bro.
But, it is
turn my shit.
The Berserkers were cool. I really enjoyed the Berserkers this season. I thought they were really cool villains. Very intimidating. The fact that they had Peter bitch out and want to run away every time one of them showed up was hilarious. Dylan O'Brien this season, this is definitely the funniest season in my opinion for Styles.
Yeah.
Styles has some of the funniest lines
I'm with you on that,
in
man.
the entire show this season, and some of the funniest gags as well.
I mean,
So
like,
yeah, if you're
I don't
looking
know. I'll
for
wake him up.
absolute top tier comedy, this is the season for you because Dylan O'Brien is nowhere near as funny as he is in any other season as he is in season 4. So yeah, that's definitely a fact for sure.
Oh yeah,
Scott this season, I feel like, is one of his better seasons. I feel like he really stepped up this season in terms of stepping into that leader role. Is he still a selfish asshole? Yes.
yeah,
He never changed. That never changes for Scott throughout a majority of the series. That's a point we talked about yesterday on the live stream. That Scott is a selfish asshole for a majority of the series, and a lot of you guys agree with those points that
oh
I
yeah.
made too. Or I would say Crow really made those points because he was the one who really carried that conversation. I was
You were
just
next,
sitting there
Crow.
for like an hour being silent on my phone the whole time. But yeah, yeah, this is definitely one of Scott's better seasons for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
I feel like this season, in terms of its villains, is where Team Wolf really started to have a villain problem because this season had way, way, way too many antagonists.
oh
You
yeah.
had all the individual assassins who
Remind me of that. This reminds me of that stuff where remember. Yeah, I watched a bit of Legacy. I'm kind of over that now. I don't watch it no more, but they were sitting there with I don't know how many per episode, and it's like just choose one to build up to, not this, because it's much more exciting if there's one big bad and they're like the craziest version of it, and you got this thing that they're building on, and they're hyping it up for you, and you're like, yes, that's what you love to see. I know all of us love to, so
they try to establish personalities for each of them. They give them each their own individual
yeah,
episodes. You had Kate Argent, Peter Hale, the benefactor who ended up being Meredith. You had the mute. You had the chemist. You had Brunsky, and you had the Calaveras. There was just way too much to juggle for one 12 episode season, and I feel like they should have
yeah,
removed a lot of the stuff and kept a single um, focus on a specific villain, kind of like how they did for the Alpha Pack and the Rock, the Nogitsune,
yeah,
the Oni, the Kanema and Gerard, the Alpha and Kate Argent. Like, I
yeah.
feel like
That's
season 1 through 3, why people love those seasons so much is that they had a clear story they wanted to tell, and it was a really good balance of
yeah.
the villains that were introduced. But this
Exactly
season,
what I
I
was
feel
talking
like
about.
they just tried to jumble and stuff way too much in it, and it really turned me off initially.
Okay, another thing this reminds me of when I first was, because I've been recording music for about 2, 3 months now, maybe even shorter time or longer. But when I first started, I remember trying to, yeah, I'm gonna try and make this the coolest stuff anyone's ever heard. So I was trying to push it to where it sounded. But then again, when I was doing it, I didn't realize it at the time because I was still new to it. Every time, which okay, they were probably new to adding more characters. Some shows do it, but Supernatural, I respect them for it because they do it in a certain way. But the way they're doing it, it's like they are still learning about this stuff. And it's like the way I was when I first was recording, I was like all over the place. And you don't want to be all over the place. I've learned that. So everyone that writes a TV show needs to learn it's not being all over the place. Let's make it constant, but not all over. We want to make it sound nice, not crappy. Like they need to imagine it like music, or like what's another thing? Imagine it like a concert you want to go well. Something like that. But they don't. So.
Initially, when I first saw it, I didn't really like this season upon first viewing. I was like, season 4
But
is fun.
but then again, second thought. I do like the fill to the season. It's just those extra bad guys and everything. Like Liam was actually my favorite part of the season, besides Scott and all the other characters. But when they added all these villains and stuff, it was too much. Like some of the villains, I was like okay with. I was like, yeah. Like Peter, he ended up being, I think, the main villain. Was it or no, because there was multiple. what you were just saying, because there was all the benefactors. There was Peter. There was Kate. I mean, like, come on, we're over flooded with villains in the season. Like, it's a lot better when you're doing it one episode at a time instead of just adding all these. Man, like, all right, let's just get back into this. I think I'm going off.
funny, but it's definitely probably one of my least favorite seasons. I don't
Exactly
really
what I
know what
said.
it is. But this season definitely has a villain problem for sure.
But then again, if they would have kept growing Scott and Derek the same way they did in the previous seasons, it would have been great. If they would have grown them into better characters, they would have extended their stories. They would have done some crazy stuff. Like, if they would have brought some crazy mythologies. I mean, like, I know Crowheezy and Jade's Corner can add to this, and they would say, I'm not 100% sure, because I mean, I've only been watching for about a year. I've been watching their stuff. Well, mainly Jade's Corner. I'm gonna start watching more Crowheezy. Probably start doing more reactions. I mean, these guys are my favorite YouTubers at this point. I'm just like, I've lost it with all these big YouTubers like Logan Paul and stuff. I've lost my way with them. I just don't like. Yeah, I want to watch that fight, but I'm like, at the same time, man, I'm a Teen Wolf fan at heart. I mean, just Corner fan now. I'm gonna be a Cohesy fan, man. Like, yeah. But there was too many people in the season. Like, when they brought in Liam, I was like, all right, yeah, that is a plus for me right there. Liam, like, that kid, he's my favorite character. Just, if you've watched Cohesy and Jade's Corner to a stream, they've talked about it. If you don't know who they are, you can find out. I will start linking them in there. But this whole season was just not even a masterpiece. Season 3 was better, a lot better. Season 2, Season 1, even though they were still growing at that point, they weren't fully their character selves. But then Season 3 got better, and then I didn't get any better after that. Yeah, the only reason I still watch the show is because it's part of my life, man. I loved it growing up. Because I started watching this back in 2011. 2011. I was born in 1998. So, let's see. How old was I? See. So I'm 22 now. It's 2021. So I was about 12. Yeah, I was watching this at age 12. And I've been watching it ever since. I always found a way to watch it. But that's because this actually grew me into a vocalist. Because I remember thinking, I want to make scary sounds just like this. Hold on, I need to charge this because I think it's getting close to dying. Hold on. Okay. Now, imagine watching this at age 12. Well, the first season, and thinking, oh, it's pretty good. Then you get to be 15 and you're watching this and you're thinking, man, what am I watching here? This is like, it felt so different. But we'll get back into the video. Sorry.
My thoughts might change on it when I go back and rewatch it this summer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They might end up being the same, or they might be worse. I
Yeah,
feel like this is
dude,
one
like,
of Lydia's better seasons. Malia.
it just
and
got
Kira.
so chaotic.
Kira. This is the season where Kira started to fall into obscurity. Where
Yeah.
Jeff Davis just
It's
didn't
true.
give a shit about her character anymore, and they didn't really give Kira.
Oh, hold on. If you guys want to see my setup, where I got my mic, because I know you guys probably remember last time I did a reaction. If anyone watches this, I had my mic right in front of the screen so you could see it. Well, look. I don't know if you can see that. Right here is the mic. I have it set up like in a studio, but I gotta get more stuff for it eventually. I got a lot to buy once I start making some money. But let's get back into it.
Other than to just be stopped background for him.
Yeah, man.
Malia and Styles' relationship is one of the better parts of this season. I really enjoyed the chemistry between Shelly Hennig and Dylan O'Brien.
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like they
for
bounce
sure.
off each other really well. And I like Styles and Malia more than Lydia and Malia, to be honest. And Scott and Malia. So, yeah, that says a lot about how their relationship was portrayed.
Yeah, like, I'm with you on that. Sorry, my stuff's pretty loud. But
yeah, I don't really have any other thoughts on season 4 other than that it's just overall, I think, a disappointing season.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really marked the beginning of the end for Team.
Like I said, the highlight for me was seeing this new character, Liam, because it's like, this kid, I mean, he kind of, I don't know, like, I'm kind of like him in a way. Because, I mean, like, I wanted to play lacrosse once I started watching this when I was 12. I was like, yo, that is an awesome sport. And I usually don't say the word yo, but, like, that sport, it just brought something out in me. And I haven't played in a while, but I might get the gear again and I might start making some videos on it. It would be cool. But that inspired that in me. It's also inspired me to start watching more supernatural shows. And anything, like, I've spread out my thing. Like, I've watched more things than I can remember from when I was younger. But first thing, when I was first watching Supernatural, I was 13 or 12 or so, and I was like, okay, I can't watch this, man. Like, that first episode, that scene when you see that woman just burning up on the ceiling, I was like, oh man, I can't watch that. Just wanted to tell you that, but here we go. So I went off topic.
And a lot of the trends and tropes this season would bleed into season 5.
For sure, man.
And then give us the eventual horrible season 6 part 2. So yeah. Also Derek this season. Tyler Hoechlin's final season as a main character. This is probably Derek's best season.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Derek has a lot of ground time to establish and develop himself even further. His relationship with Brayden was cool.
He evolves.
Really cool exploring and seeing that. And I feel like his journey to becoming an evolved werewolf was awesome. Seeing Derek finally stop being an asshole and find that balance.
That was another plus. His evolution in this.
Really freaking dope to see. And yeah, some of the stuff Derek did with the power scaling, him fighting the Berserkers and Scott jobbing out to them, didn't really make too much sense at all. But me and Crow.
But another thing that would have been sick, I think, if they would have added. Okay, so Liam, if they would have done, like, say, I wanted like 10 seasons, like, of this stuff. But if they had done it perfectly right and everything, one thing I would have wanted to see, basically, my favorite parts of them. So I would want to see Scott as an alpha evolve. Derek evolves. So that's one thing that I did right for my taste. But then I would have wanted to see Liam evolve later as like a really powerful beta. Like, just the whole pack just evolved. That would be a sick pack. The evolved pack. Alright.
I've been trying to make sense of all the stuff that is really outlandish and Jeff Davis has yet to explain. That's years after the show has ended for months. And, we're going to keep trying to do it. But, yeah, it's really hard to break it down when the power scaling is that bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but other than that, that's my thoughts on season 4 as a whole. Kate and Peter were okay. Peter this season was probably the best villain. Kate was all right. I don't even get why she was pissed off at Scott. If anything, she should have been pissed off at Gerard for a majority of the shit that happened in season 2 and 3. So, yeah. Yeah, that's my thought. So make sure if you guys like this video, leave a thumbs up.
I already have. And you can see it right there on the screen.
For you, if you're a Teen Wolf fan, turn on post notifications on Jades Corner. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace, love, and positivity as always. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Man, like, peace to you. Man, you are awesome. Like, yeah. Alright, so that'll end today's reaction. This will be up. Okay, so I'm doing this. What is today? I'm not sure what today is. I think it's Oh yeah, yesterday was Monday, so today is Tuesday. I just uploaded, well, I premiered one for 6 something a.m. this morning. So this one will be going up the day after that. So it will be premiering on that day. But I'm gonna set the premiere today, and it will premiere tomorrow. Probably the same time. I might start doing that. I got a lot of reactions to get to, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. All right.